What's up, Seek Squad? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan, also known as Seeker. Now, if you've ever clicked on one of my videos, it doesn't take you long to figure out that my channel revolves around Search and Destroy. Call of Duty Search and Destroy is my favorite video game of all time, even though it's not a specific video game. It's multiple games, and it's a game mode in those games. I just love Search and Destroy. My channel revolves around, and I upload a lot of Search and Destroy content. Well, I got a comment on some of my recent videos where I went back and I used multiple guns that were in multiple Call of Duties and like the evolution of this gun in every Call of Duty. Well, I got a comment asking me to do a video where I break down and talk about Search and Destroy in every Call of Duty and the changes and the way it's gone over time, the evolution of Search and Destroy. So that's what we're gonna do today. I thought it was kind of cool. Went ahead and I did a quick YouTube search when I first saw the comments to see if anybody else has done this video. Sure enough, my man Ink Slasher has made this video, so I want to give credit where credit is due. Ink Slasher went and made this video a couple years ago, so this is, I guess, an updated version of his, but I do want to go ahead and link his channel down below to give credit because he did make this video first. Anyways, though, if you guys do enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a like on it, as well as if you guys are a Search and Destroy fan, which I'm assuming you are because you clicked on this video, feel free to click the subscribe button below. I have a feeling you're going to like my channel, considering my channel is, well, 99.9% only Search and Destroy content. Anyways, though, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright, so starting things off with COD 4, we're not going to worry about the first three Call of Duties because, I mean, let's be real, we kind of all forgot about those. COD 4 is really, in our eyes, that was the first Call of Duty. Modern Warfare was the first COD in our eyes, and that's the first time Search and Destroy really took off in popularity as well. So starting things off, COD 4 had a 2-minute 30-second round timer, which is kind of long for today's standards. I don't remember the last time I had a COD with 2-minute 30-second round timer. It had a 5-second plant, 5-second fuse, 45-second bomb timer. We're all used to that. But the big thing about COD for S&D was how fast you could play it. The game mode really changed because you had the triple frag option, which allowed you to do crazy spawn nades. There was all these random jump spots. Search and Destroy in COD 4 was just fun because you could do different things and really kind of just play it quicker than you would normally play a Search and Destroy game mode where you only have one life. You could play it fast, you could drop a lot of kills, especially rushing around with your silenced MP5 or your M16, one bursting everybody and being the dominant force. Call of Duty Search and Destroy was really cool. One thing that we're not used to now, but COD 4 only had 3 streaks in it. You had your airstrike, you had your attack chopper, and you had a UAV. Just the basic 3 streaks. Everyone had the same streaks. There wasn't any nukes or anything. There wasn't any like gunship or AC-130. You didn't have anything like that, so it was pretty basic. Search and Destroy was fun. It was great. You played it tactical. You could play it fast. You could snipe. You could do whatever you want. It's pretty basic. It was overall a really fun game mode. Moving on to World at War, nothing much has really changed since COD 4. World at War was kind of that forgotten Call of Duty nowadays because there's so many modders on it, it's kind of unplayable. There's not enough player base on it to really play it anymore, like some of the other Call of Duties. But World at War, 2-minute 30-second round timer, just like COD 4. The plant defuse times were the same. The bomb timer was the same. You still had those dominant weapons. You had the MP40, the Tommy gun. You got the STG. All those OG weapons we loved seeing come back in World War II and as DLC weapons, those classic World War II weapons. But overall, everything was pretty much the same. It just looks were different. One of the biggest things is that there's only a few Call of Duties where the bomb is looked different than just like the normal like professional looking briefcase explosive. World at War was definitely interesting one. It was like 3 yellow circles with the thing you spin in the middle and that blew up. It was like 3 giant sticks of dynamite, like out of an animated TV show. It was kind of weird looking, but it's still, you know, same game mode, same thing, still a lot of fun. Classic Search and Destroy. Modern Warfare 2, one of my absolute favorites. Modern Warfare 2 is, in my eyes, when Search and Destroy changed. That was when Search and Destroy went from being this OBJ tactical game mode that you had to be the right type of player to want to play, to this mainstream game mode that anybody can enjoy. Modern Warfare 2 introduced more than same kill streaks. We can actually customize our kill streaks now. There's a tactical nuke now. That's new. You got riot shields. You got one-man army noob tubes. You got your stopping power TAR-21s and FAMASs. Everything changed. You got snipers. You got that intervention. You have trick shotting. That's right, this is when FaZe Clan was born and tricks started to happen. This is when the phrase wins before spins became a thing. You had shotgun secondaries, Marathon Pro, Ninja Pro, Pro Perks in general. In Modern Warfare 2 was when Call of Duty like upped its game on customization, which also upped the game on the way you can play Search and Destroy. You could really have a unique playstyle on the way you want to do it. If you wanted to sit in the spawn and OMA noob tube your life away, you could. Everyone hated you for it, and I still hate people that do that for it. But you could also, you know, hop in a full 6-man party with your friends and just talk trash the whole night and have a great time. You had stupid stuff playing around, trying to get on top of the plane on terminal. I don't know. Search and Destroy has that game mode that you could just have fun in no matter how you wanted to play it. If you wanted to try really hard and win and get high kill games, you wanted to try to drop a tactical nuke, you wanted a trick shot, you just wanted to mess around with a riot shield and sit your spawn and just try to piss people off, you could do that too. Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy was just a blast overall, and that's when Search and Destroy really went mainstream and really more people started to grasp on the game mode and really started to play it. It's when I first played Search and Destroy. Modern Warfare 2 was the first Call of Duty I ever played Search and Destroy in, and I fell in love with it instantly. Next up on the list is Black Ops 1. As far as round timer and like the way the game mode actually like works, it plays the same. It's still the same game mode. Round timer, plant time, and all that stuff, that's still exactly the same. The only thing that really changed is the way like customization and everything plays. It almost went like a down step in customization because you had to pick and choose how you play to succeed well in this game, because they made it a whole lot harder to succeed for the sniper or the player that wants to rush around, because they made it better for the noobs. The bottom line, they made it better for the noobs. Snipers were harder to use. There was more particular in what guns were really good. There was more. It wasn't like in Modern Warfare 2 where every gun was unbelievably good. In Black Ops 1, there was a lot of guns that were good, but there were the guns that were the guns to run. You had the FAMAS, you had the rapid fire AK-74U, the Galil, the guns that were just really strong that you definitely wanted to run if you wanted to succeed in a game mode where you only have one life. That is very difficult to play. Another thing they added in to help the new players, well, you had your Ghost, which has been in past Call of Duties, but in this Call of Duty in particular, Ghost was used heavily, especially people that wanted to sit in a corner, camp with Ghosts, and run motion sensors or scramblers or the little cameras you could sit down to cover a hallway just to help you camp or help you succeed by planting the bomb, throwing a motion sensor down or a camera, or when you're trying to go in a building, you could have a motion sensor in it so you know when someone's coming in. Just made it easier for players that aren't as good, that are kind of afraid to move around the map, to kill somebody that is moving around the map. And when they wanted to play the objective, they could use that equipment to then camp somewhere comfortable and have their equipment watch the bomb form them, making it a little bit easier. BO1 S&D was overall good, it was fun, it was just a little more catered to the noob player. Modern Warfare 3. By far the worst Search and Destroy we've ever seen in Call of Duty. Let me explain why. As a Call of Duty S&D fan, I was not a fan of Modern Warfare 3 Search and Destroy at all. Modern Warfare 3 was a fun Call of Duty because from a pub stomper's perspective, it was a blast. If you're a pub stomper, it's probably one of, if not your favorite Call of Duties. But from a Search and Destroy player's perspective, it was pretty trash. Let me explain. There's two reasons why Modern Warfare 3 S&D failed. Not because the round timers or anything changed. That was all the same. The two reasons are more like two perks. Recon Pro and SitRep Pro. Let me explain. Recon Pro was a perk that was basically a advanced UAV in your pocket, or a VSAT in your pocket, if you will. All you had to do was hit mark an enemy, whether that be by stunning them, hit marking them with a nade, or hit marking them, shooting them with one bullet even, and they'd pop up on your minimap for you and your entire team for 10 seconds, and you could see exactly where they are at all times, just like an orbital VSAT would for that one or two people that you've stunned. Whoever you hit marked, they would just pop up on the minimap for everybody to see, which was very overpowered, which made it very campy as well, because if you got stunned or hit, you just assumed you were on the minimap and you didn't want to move for like 10 seconds. You wanted to sit there and hard aim and wait for the person to push, and you wouldn't move at all, which made it kind of play slow and boring. Now, if you combine that with SitRep Pro, it got even worse. SitRep Pro was the sound whoring perk in Modern Warfare 3. In the past Call of Duty Search and Destroy, sound whoring was there, but it wasn't like that overpowered. In this game, it went from just being there to being something everybody cared about. With SitRep Pro, after it received a buff later down the line in Modern Warfare 3, you could pretty much sound hurt anybody anywhere on the map. You could be anywhere and you could pretty much hear anybody unless they were crouching. If you didn't have dead silence and you were walking around the map, you were screwed. Even if you had dead silence and you got kind of close to somebody with SitRep Pro, you needed to be crouched at all times because SitRep Pro countered dead silence and you could still hear him. So all you had to do was crouch around the map with your SitRep Pro, hear an enemy, throw a stun that enemy, they're on the minimap for you and the entire team, and you could kill him. Totally took the prediction factor out of Search and Destroy completely, made it super easy to play, which made it very boring, because what made S&D awesome was the skill gap in it and being a good player and how satisfying it was to accurately predict enemies. SitRep Pro and Recon Pro totally took that out of the field. Black Ops 2, my personal favorite Call of Duty on this list. Black Ops 2 is my favorite Call of Duty, so I can be kind of biased when I say that Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty for Search and Destroy, but I do have some reasons behind why I say that. Let me hop right into it. So, first things first, it played a whole lot quicker. Black Ops 2 is the first Call of Duty to make the round timer shorter. It now went from 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Still had the normal bomb timer and bomb plant and defuse time, but the 2 minutes made it play a whole lot faster because you had less time to use. You played a whole lot quicker overall. You also got score streaks. Score streaks allowed the objective to help you in search and destroy. Now, in Modern Warfare 3, you could plant the bomb and that would count towards 1 point on your streak, but not as much so as Black Ops 2, because in Black Ops 2, you would get an assist, it would count towards your score streaks. You get a kill, count towards your score streaks. You plant the bomb, count towards your score streaks. Kill somebody defusing the bomb, you get extra points. Blow up the bomb, you get extra points. You could drop seriously high kill streaks in search and destroy. You wanted to drop a swarm that was like 1800 score. You could do that in S&D if you played the objective right. It really promoted playing the objective having score streaks, which made it play a whole lot better in my eyes. You also had every weapon being really, really, really good, especially snipers. Snipers in Black Ops 2 were unbelievably good and unbelievably easy to use, which made them really fun to use as well. Trick shotting was definitely very, very, very popular in Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 just felt more back to that Modern Warfare 2 feel. It was just funny. You could play it however you wanted. We also had the pick 10 system added in, which was one of the things that really helped you hone what your playstyle is and what you want it to be. Because of the pick 10 system, you could choose if you want to run a secondary, what attachments you want to run specifically, and just based everything off of only having 10 points. What do you want to use them on? How do you want this class to play? And you could really figure out what your playstyle, how your playstyle is and what you want it to be, instead of just the normal, okay, I have 3 perks, lethal, tactical, secondary, and a primary. You could customize that. You didn't have to run a secondary if you wanted to. You didn't have to run a primary if you wanted to. You didn't have to run a gun at all if you didn't want to. Black Ops 2 is just overall really good for search and destroy in my eyes. I'm sure a lot of you will most likely agree. Some of you guys probably love Modern Warfare 3 too, though. Who knows? Now for Call of Duty Ghosts. Well, it didn't have search and destroy. That's it. I'm just kidding. Okay, Call of Duty Ghosts didn't have search and destroy when it first came out, but it was inevitably added in because everybody loved search and destroy, especially after Black Ops 2. Everybody wanted to play search and destroy, so when they took out S&D and only stuck it in custom games, we got a hashtag trending. I'm correct, it was hashtag cut for S&D, and search and destroy was added back into Ghost, and it was loved. Kind of. S&D and COD Ghosts kind of was a downturn. After Black Ops 2 being so fast-paced and fun, Ghost kind of killed it. It was definitely a decent search and destroy, but it was more back to the Modern Warfare 3 where it played a lot slower. The maps in Ghost were overall pretty big. The time to kill was a lot faster, which made you want to play slower overall. And we had SitRep Pro back, except it was called Amplify this time. We had another perk called Ping, which was a cool perk, but it still just took the prediction factor out of search and destroy. Every time you kill an enemy, it would do a little motion sensor ping on the map, so if anyone was nearby, you could see where they are instead of you having the knowledge of knowing that someone was there. It would just tell you. You also had Recon was back. It wasn't nearly as strong as it was in Modern Warfare 3. People were only on your minimap for like a second, but it's still long enough to know exactly where they are, and you were able to kill them, which made it play a whole lot slower. But overall, Ghost Search and Destroy is kind of a hit or miss. Either you loved it or you hated it. I'm kind of on the fence. Ghost Search and Destroy, when it was first around, when I first played Call of Duty Ghosts, I hated it, but like a couple years later, I went back to it and actually really enjoyed it. So it kind of have mixed opinions on it overall, but I don't think it was the worst, don't think it was the best. It definitely wasn't as bad as Modern Warfare 3 in terms of sound whoring and recon abuse and whatnot, but it was still there. You had recon, you had sound whoring. It still played a lot slower than Black Ops 2. Bottom line, it wasn't Black Ops 2. Next on the list is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which had a round timer of 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is a whole lot faster than the past Call of Duty, which made sense because we had different movement. This is the first Call of Duty we had jetpacks in, so we could move a whole lot quicker because we could fly around the map, basically. So it makes sense that they did a 1 minute 30 round timer. Another thing that changed big time was that the defuse time was different. We had the normal 5-second plant, 45-second bomb timer, but the defuse time was now 7.5 seconds, but it was actually 8.4. A lot of people don't know this about Advanced Warfare. You actually defuse the bomb. It took a whole lot longer than 7.5. The actual defuse time was 7.5, but Advanced Warfare was the first Call of Duty to not factor in the time it takes to actually pick up the bomb. The little animation of opening the briefcase or lifting the bomb up or whatever usually gets factored into the defuse time in past Call of Duties. Advanced Warfare didn't do that, so you had to factor it in yourself. So yes, it took 7.5 seconds to defuse the bomb, but it took a little longer to pick up the bomb as well, making it around 8.3, 8.4 seconds. Another thing they changed is they added in the competitive round set. So 7.5 second defuse time was something in competitive Call of Duty. Another thing about competitive Call of Duty was 6 rounds in Search and Destroy, which is what they did for public match in Advanced Warfare. First time you'd ever seen that. It was now 6 rounds to win, best of 11, whereas we used to have 4 rounds to win, best of 7. Quite different. Games were a whole lot longer. Definitely could get a whole lot more kills. Dropping a 30 kill game was like the equivalent of dropping a 20 kill game in past Call of Duties. Another thing that changed big time about Search and Destroy is that you switched sides each round, which was an awesome addition that has been used in many Call of Duty since, and it makes sense because it was a really good idea overall. So a lot of maps in past Call of Duties, you'd win or lose based on the side you spawned on. For example, Black Ops 2 had slums. Extremely unbalanced map for Search and Destroy. If you spawned on offense, you most likely lost because it took you longer to get to the middle of the map, whereas if you spawned on defense, you got to middle a whole lot quicker, and since it was this giant border wall, it was kind of whoever made it to the head glitches first one, and defense always made it to the head glitches first, so defense kind of won slums. If you spawn on defense, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. So now, Black Ops 4 bringing back slums, it's actually kind of a good map because Black Ops 4 has the same round switch as Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare introducing the round switch thing made S&D a whole lot more balanced because if one map had a bad spawn, it kind of evened itself out because you'd switch rounds each time. One last thing Advanced Warfare did that a lot of people have forgotten about since Modern Warfare that's coming out in a few days did the exact same thing. Dead Silence is no longer a perk, it is an ability. In the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you unlock Dead Silence you over time. You just unlock it like a specialist. Well, in Advanced Warfare, each round, Dead Silence was an equipment. You'd put it on, it was called Exo Mute, and what it would do is each round you'd have a reset of it, and you would basically have to charge it up, use it, you'd have Dead Silence, you'd have silent footsteps for like 20 seconds, then it would be gone. Modern Warfare is doing the exact same thing. They got that straight from Advanced Warfare. Dead Silence is an ability. You don't have it 24/7. You got to pick and choose when you want to use it, which is very different. You have to use Dead Silence according to the right situation. Adds a little more of a skill into it. Makes you have to think about when you want to use it. Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 was definitely the best of the futuristic Call of Duties in my opinion. Black Ops 3 boost jumping was futuristic like Advanced Warfare's, but it just wasn't as heavy on the jumping. It wasn't as accurate as Advanced Warfare was with their jumping, so you didn't use it as much. You used it some. I mean, you used it a lot, but it wasn't nearly as much. You weren't flying around the map. You definitely were not flying around the map. You just kind of were on the ground and used the boost jumping to your advantage in gunfights and whatnot. Dead Silence Awareness combination was back just like it was in Black Ops 2, which is just quite a bit stronger. You definitely wanted to run Dead Silence in this game. You might even want to run Awareness depending on the players you're playing against, how sweaty and try-hardy they are. But overall, sound horn wasn't too bad. It was definitely strong, but not insane. Black Ops 3 also introduced a perk called Tracker, which was there and powerful, but not a whole lot of people used it. Tracker basically allowed you to follow enemy footsteps around the map. It would just leave an imprint on the ground, like you're following a mystery out of a Scooby-Doo novel. You would just follow the footsteps and it would tell you where the enemies are. There was a perk that countered it immediately though, so it kind of was useless, but it was still there, something that made it easier to find enemies. Plant Defuse was 5 seconds, but no longer 7.5. And you switched around each time. They brought that back from Advanced Warfare, which is awesome, made the game more balanced overall. One big thing introduced into Black Ops 3, which changed Search and Destroy forever, at least for the past few Call of Duties, is we had Specialists. We have Specialists in the game, which allowed you to basically, if you're a new player, no matter how good you are or whatever, as long as you were in the game and stayed in the game, depending on how long you're in the game, just as the game goes on, you would earn an ability, whether that be a weapon or invisibility or being able to move quicker or teleport or whatever, and you would pretty much in Search and Destroy be able to use it once per game, and you would just kind of want to time it right and use it to your advantage to save your butt. One popular one was using Overdrive, which was basically made you the Flash, and you could off the spawn run really fast, gain map control so that enemies wouldn't see you coming. They'd run out of a doorway that they aren't expecting to see an enemy immediately when they get out of, and you'd be there and you could kill them. If you played your Specialist right, you could use it to your advantage, and it worked out really well. Infinite Warfare, the most hated Call of Duty in history, and the second most disliked video on YouTube. It might still be, but at the time, the trailer for Infinite Warfare had 3 million dislikes. The game was pretty much the same thing as Black Ops 3. Everything played exactly the same. You had Specialists, the boost jumps were the same. Overall, it was normal, it was okay. It had a faster time to kill than Black Ops 3, better hit detection. You know, it was basically Call of Duty Ghosts with boost jumps and maps that were more BO3 style. You still switched each round for S&D. It was best of 4. Everything was kind of the same as Black Ops 3. That game just came out at the wrong time because people were tired of boost jumps by then, so everyone hated on it. But Search and Destroy wise, it was pretty much the same thing as Black Ops 3. You just had to play your life a little bit better because the time to kill was much, much faster. Back with another Sledgehammer Games Call of Duty, we have Call of Duty World War II. No longer futuristic movement, we're back to boots on the ground Call of Duty. We still switch sides each round, which is great. Diffuses are now 7.5 seconds again, and round time is back to 1 minute and 30 seconds like it was in Advanced Warfare. The minute and 30 second really worked well in Advanced Warfare because of the fast movement, but since World War II didn't have fast movement, the minute and 30 seconds was kind of too fast for how the movement was. It just didn't really work out overall. It was there, it was okay, but it would be much better if it was a 2-minute round timer like it was in Black Ops 2 for the boots on the ground movement, then a minute 30. Minute 30 was just kind of fast. We have a 7.5 second diffuse time, that's back, and it's actually 7.5 seconds in this game. It actually counts everything. As well as one big thing is create a class customization. This changed quite a bit. We had basic trainings and divisions. How it worked is you choose a division, which is essentially a set playstyle. You basically chose what playstyle you want this class to be. It was like multiple perks catering towards movement speed or surviving explosive or whatever it was. And then you had a basic training, which was kind of one perk of your choice that was different from the basic training that you could choose, making it a little different, kind of weird, kind of switched it up, but it wasn't that big of a deal. We had secondaries again. The pick 10 system was gone, so it was less customization. It was just kind of a different style of the classic Call of Duty customization. Looks like we have finally made it to the end. We are up to the current Call of Duty as of right now. I mean, by just like a few days. Modern Warfare, the time of me recording this video, comes out in like 3 or 4 days. So we're up to Black Ops 4, but Modern Warfare is about to drop. So, Black Ops 4, what's new, what's changed? Well, it's back with Black Ops 3 because specialists are back. Things are just a little bit different. You now have a weapon and an ability to use each aim, and you chose your specialist in-game instead of before you went into the game. So you weren't stuck with one specialist. You could change your specialist if you wanted to, and you had an equipment and a specialist ability, which made things a little bit different. It was 4 rounds, switching each round, which was great. You had a 2-minute round timer back to 2 minutes, upping the minute 30 from World War II back to 2. You healed yourself. That was a big thing for gunfights. Everyone had 150 health, raising the bar from 100 to 150, and everyone self-heals in Black Ops 4, making yourself to play a little smarter with your health and having to worry about not only reloading after a gunfight, but also healing yourself so that you're ready for the next gunfight as well. Alright, squad, we have reached the end, ending things off with the final Call of Duty Modern Warfare, except for one thing. It hasn't released yet. Only thing we know about Call of Duty Modern Warfare Search and Destroy is that Dead Silence is an ability, and from playing the beta, we already know that sound whoring is definitely going to be prominent in Modern Warfare. It was pretty easy to sound whore in the beta, so Dead Silence is probably going to be something we're going to want to run, and it's an ability, so we'll have to see how that plays. We'll have to wait and see, because the game is not currently released at the time of recording this video. We're still a few days shy. If you are watching this video before Modern Warfare has released, I want you to leave me a comment down below letting me know how you would want Modern Warfare Search and Destroy to play. Keep in mind that Dead Silence is an ability and that sound whoring is pretty strong. Keep that in mind. But let me know how you want the rounds to be, how many rounds, how to plant the fuse. Just let me know your perfect idea of Modern Warfare Search and Destroy down below. As well as leave me a comment letting me know which Search and Destroy was your favorite. My personal favorite was Black Ops 2. Let me know what you guys think. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. This is, I can already tell from recording this video, this is probably a longer video. So if you made it to the end, thank you very much. I must not be too annoying. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, leave a like, as well as if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Join the Seek Squad, especially if you like Search and Destroy. I'll have a bunch of Modern Warfare Search and Destroy content on the channel once the game has releases. I will catch you guys in the next one, though. Seek and Destroy. It's been Seeker.